Happy Thursday, December 31st. Wow. Happy New Year's Eve. I love and appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for joining me on Embrace Life. I wanted to add some clarity in regards to frequently asked questions in regards to the stimulus mail out as well as the unemployment updates. But before we do that, let's chime in with what's going to be happening today. Bernie Sanders is going to filibuster the NDAA so that Mitch McConnell will address the Cash Act 2000 per house, $2,000 per person and dependent in a household. So you're probably not going to see any of that roll through because the Article 230 is the big tech limitations on your social media. So Trump doesn't want this because he thinks it's directly affected his campaign by his comments and tweets being flagged and whatnot. He wants that completely removed. Well, guess what? You don't really have that option. They're not going to pursue that. They're not going to even. We're waiting till Biden takes over as far as anything with the $2,000. Take it for its worth. This is just my opinion, but if the gatekeeper is following suit to what Trump wants, and Trump will not move, neither will Mitch McConnell. They did have, or Mitch McConnell did have a proposal adjustment in response to the Cash Act, but I don't foresee that even coming to fruition because it's too little, too late. You've got 1 day left, and then you've got another day where it expires, and then you've got January 5th where everything that's been put on the table is going to be completely wiped clean for that that Congress. Man, I'm stuttering today and having trouble talking. But I wanted to address directly the unemployment issues, your bank issues, you haven't received your check yet. What if your bank account was closed from your original tax return from the beginning of the year, or your bank was closed in the interim of these stimulus checks and since those stimulus checks had gone out? So what's going to happen is the Fed is going to issue that money to that bank. It's going to bounce back, and they're going to mail those checks to the last address that you had, either your tax return or if you got your first stimulus and you had changed your address on the irs.gov website, which I recommend doing right away. And the only way to kind of bypass that or circumvent that is today to go to the post office, preferably the post office that was closest to your mailing area from your previous address, and fill out the form in person for your address change. So it's forwarded, because if it's already in the mail, chances are it's not at your local station yet. They'll issue it that day. Okay? Yes, I recommend going to irs.gov and changing your address on the actual site, and I'll try to forward the link. I'm actually in a Facebook group that people are nice enough to, hey, this was successful for me, here's the link, and what I'll do is I'll just copy that link over to you guys. But so if your bank account that you originally had set up is closed, it'll bounce back. They'll mail the checks. It's not really forwarding their mail because you're not supposed to forward your IRS checks. They're not supposed to. You're supposed to follow the process of changing it on the .gov irs.gov website. Well, that's a foregone conclusion. You can't really do that and expect it to happen right away. In most cases, you'll end up falling into a crack that says, hey, you know what, we didn't have the right address information, or the account was closed and we didn't have an updated address, we couldn't get these checks to you. So you'll have to end up getting that when you do your taxes 2021 for 2020. Hopefully that offers enough clarity for that portion. Now, the rollout of the direct deposits, if your bank information is all set, yes, it is alphabetically A through whatever first group. K through whatever the next group, and then, end of the alphabet following. But it's also dependent on your banking institution. I know some people that have already received their stimulus checks. I know personally because I've gotten mine. As far as the unemployment update, that won't go into this week. This is people. Some people already know because they get it earlier in the week. I normally talk to a few people that are unemployed that have been getting their checks or have been getting their direct deposits, and it's usually for them at the end of the week. Well, those are going to end up going next week. So yeah, as far as your address information, the only real way to bypass and circumvent so that you're not postponed to when you're doing your taxes for 2021, which isn't so bad. I mean, literally, we're talking about next week. Is a lot of things are changing. So I wanted to go through as far as if you had a child in 2020. They don't know your child exists yet, so you're going to file that in your tax when you do your taxes next year. For this year, you're going to claim that child, and they're going to give you probably two payments for that child in 2021. Also, if you missed your claim, let's say you went a week and you forgot to claim that week, but you did all the right things, you just didn't call in and verify or verify online, however you do it, you missed a week. Well, that lapse causes a whole trickle down effect that kind of puts you in the back of the line, because you now have to go back to irs.gov and vie for, hey, you know what, I was trying to get a job, I still don't have a job, but I forgot to call in, or I had issues calling in. I know people have had issues getting onto irs.gov website and communicating with a representative over the phone. My sister personally, she tried for 3 days and couldn't get anybody on the phone. Maybe the number that she was dialing or how she was hitting the prompts, she wasn't getting through to the right level of representative. But I had no issues personally. But things happen, and you got to be doing your due diligence and making sure that everything's right in line for you. Everybody's circumstances are different. Don't expect, because you heard a whole bunch of people have already received their money. That might be the bank issue. That might be the Fed issue. That might be the fact that their address didn't need to be, they never had any issues with their address, and they don't have any issues with direct deposit. So when the first stimulus check went out, it was issued on Monday, but it didn't show up in my account until Thursday. My last name is O'Neill, and I'm presuming because it was alphabetical, it probably didn't go through till Wednesday and then showed up in the bank on Thursday. Think of things along the same lines, because that's how they do things. I have a friend that works directly for the Fed, and she's like, yeah, we already started issuing right after Trump signed on Sunday. She said that night, she's like, yeah, we were already issuing stimulus. So do your due diligence. If you have direct questions related to your circumstance, put them in the comments below. I will address them. I address all my comments. I'm actually part of a couple groups on Facebook and Instagram. Not Instagram, Twitter. And I get updates all the time, and I make sure that I validate all the reports that I'm getting. Yes, Bernie Sanders brought a big billboard into the Senate stating Trump wants $2,000 ASAP. He literally blew up the tweet on a big board, brought it into the Senate. It was kind of entertaining. And yeah, that all happened. Problem is, the gatekeeper still has the gate closed. He's not even gonna bring this to the Senate if it doesn't address the issues that Trump wants fixed. There's constitutional issues with that, those adjustments. So I don't foresee that. There's too much. I don't even know what the word for it. I know the word. I just can't. It's not coming to my mind at this point. But I love and appreciate all of you guys. We have a great community. If you put it in the comments, Other members of the community will comment as well. Maybe they have a direct answer, because it's also different by state. Not every state is handling this the same way. I seen Connecticut is already, was one of the first states to say not pending, or everybody else was, all the other states were saying pending for these stimulus, and Connecticut was like, nope, we're rolling it out this week, or they had the date instead of pending or unknown, as far as the PUA site. Now, a lot of people were on PUA that didn't file their taxes. Guys, you got to do your due diligence. If you haven't done your taxes in 4 years, you just built up this big mountain of uncertainty. Do your due diligence. Reach out to a CPA. Reach out to whoever does your taxes. Your fastest response is usually through e-file or TurboTax. But yeah, there's so much stuff going on. I just thought I'd address, the elephant in the room as far as addresses and or bank accounts. Because, we didn't plan for this to happen. Maybe you got evicted and you had to change your address because you moved back in with your parents. They don't have that new address because you haven't filed your taxes for this year yet. Or you didn't update your information back when they were taking the information as updates for stimulus, PUA, all that jazz. Now, the portals are not available yet. So the EIDL, the FPUC, we don't have any answers for that as of yet. Rental evictions, there's so much uncertainty. So be in the know, do your due diligence, and don't just take information for face value from what other people's experiences are, because you are not them. It is what it is. It's just like going to a movie that you heard was great, but you didn't produce that movie. You didn't direct that movie, and you had this high expectation of the movie. So it's not going to happen the way you wanted or expected. You didn't write it. Plain and simple. That expectation that you created is going to disappoint you because you thought it was great. That was somebody else's opinion. And because you were given that high level opinion, you came into it with a high excitement. And then suddenly, one of the characters says a word that you don't agree with, or, might be racial, or, just incorrect, politically correct, whatever the verbiage. I love and appreciate all of you guys. I know I was rambling a little bit off on the expectations, but let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Remember, if you like this type of content, and if you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you're not, welcome back. But if you like, subscribe, and comment on one of my videos and share on social media, you'll be eligible for $1,200. I was originally thinking back in the day, we're all kind of expecting $1,200 to be the expected stimulus. So that was the giveaway. It's $1,200. Once I hit 500 subscribers, a random subscriber that comments and likes the video and is a subscribed member will be eligible for that giveaway. I love and appreciate all of you guys. Be safe tonight. If you're, as far as restaurants in New York, they're mostly closed at 10 o'clock. I don't know what other states are doing. I can only speak for my own state. So, yeah, chances are you're not going out anywhere, especially with the social distancing. But have a great New Year. Get a shrimp cocktail, or if you don't like shrimp, get something really nice. Reward yourselves for surviving 2020. I love and appreciate all of you guys. I'll put the links for Webull. Today's the last day to get the 4 free stocks. And all you got to do is deposit $100. They'll give you 2 free stocks for joining and 2 free stocks for depositing $100. I'll put the link for crypto and Birch Gold Group. But it's New Year's Eve, guys. I got to go shopping. I got to go get shrimp and cocktail sauce and chips and dip and whatnot, because I like to have fun. I'm going to be playing some Star Wars Monopoly with my family and enjoying our, what we have here at home. I love it, and hopefully you guys are doing the same. I love and appreciate all of you guys. I really do empathize for everybody in the position of food insecurity, the fact that you might be getting evicted. And, real quick, the 4% of six-figure making families,
would be getting the $2,000 based on the Cash Act, which obviously I think all that's going to change anyways. Yeah, there are a few people that are making six figures that will end up getting a pretty sizable amount of money, and that's what the Republicans were saying. These guys don't deserve to get paid. They did nothing, and they make so much money. Why are we giving them money? Well, they fall under the demographic, and it was a quick amendment that could have been readdressed by the House by Nancy Pelosi. I don't know why they didn't do it, but either way, I digress. I love and appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for joining my community. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Yeah, we'll be talking soon. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you in the new year.